Welcome, everybody, and welcome to the Master Heart family. And you're going to love our session today that we're going to talk about how we can turn anything into gold, if you will, anything that we want. And we're going to talk about contrast and things that we don't want. And so it's going to be a magnificent time. And it's always so nice to start out our Mondays together and seeing these similar minded people that uplift us. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and they just said, Mondays, I can't wait till Monday for this. And it's because, that, there's so much wanted, there's so much good, there's so many blessings in our life. And we help draw that out and help people see the way that God sees, or depending on your religion, the way Christ sees. That when you start seeing the way that that the truth of everything is behind everything is actually the truth of wanted beautiful things. And so with that, I think we're going to start. Actually, we're going to open it up. But Carlos, before we started recording, was sharing that he's his homeland, where he was born in El Salvador, and so he went back there last week. He just got back home, and and he was talking about how that country is so much better now. And see, the whole world is getting better, and it's getting better because of the contrast. The things that we don't like, we have to have in order to birth what we do want. If we didn't have contrast, we'd all be bored, and we wouldn't be here because we wouldn't be doing our job, if you will. And that is, we signed up to have this contrast, what we don't want, to be able to birth what we do want. And that then makes our futures better, the world's future better. And so with that, hey, Carlos, and hello, and what's going on?
Hey, doctor, how you doing, guys? I'm doing amazing. I'm doing amazing, and I just find out, that I'm 100% agree on what you just say. Especially, I'm starting to understand that the world is happening according to what you got in your mind. Because if
Uh,
it's cloudy, your mind is cloudy, your day will be cloudy, right? If it's a bright day, it will be a bright day. When I went to El Salvador, like in September last year, I put in my head, following your advice, that you actually are the one almost in control of your life, according to your thoughts. And when I went there, I always went to El Salvador before, uh, with the intention of have fun, see relatives, go and have fun, uh, go and visit different places. But this time, because I'm thinking about my retirement, I'm 62
yeah,
already. I
yeah.
say, I better start planning, where I'm gonna spend my days, So I went there with
Yeah.
the intention to meet people that are business people. People are doing what I'm doing in real estate, or go
Yeah.
there and find out about opportunities. And when I
Yeah.
went there, the first day, the Uber guy, we started talking about business. Incredible, we started about
Yeah.
business. The guy he used to be in the pharmaceutical industry. He got retired, and he bought, with the money that he got, he bought 4 cars, and he started doing Uber in El Salvador. And then he
Wow.
introduced me to other people. Then I started talking about, buying a land close to the ocean, because my wife, she loves the ocean, and she's from
Uh,
another country. So if she moved with me, I want her to be happy. And
yeah.
talking to her nephew, I said, I wanted to buy a piece of land. I didn't mention how I want the piece of land. I just mentioned a piece of land. She go like, why don't you go to marketplace? And I said, I didn't know you have marketplace in El Salvador, right? Because you think we have everything here. She go like,
Yeah.
look at this one here. She opened her phone and she showed me that one. And that was the piece of land that I was viewing before,
Oh.
how I'm gonna live.
Oh. Oh.
And I didn't want to say
Incredible.
anything to her because I wasn't sure, right? But I say, send me that information. She sent me the information. I called the person in charge of the cell. The guy lives in Houston. And he said, you know what? Let me refer to my partner in El Salvador.
Yeah.
I met this group of realtors that they actually
Wow.
are building something. I end up buying
Oh
that
my.
piece of land with their help,
Oh,
but at the same
yeah.
time, we create a big relationship, right?
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, if you got buyers or sellers over there, we can team up and do business together." At the
Yeah.
hostel where I was staying, I went for breakfast the next day, and I was eating, right? And I was talking to somebody, and the guy sitting next to me, he was like, "You're not from here. You got a different accent." And I said, "Well, I'm from New Jersey." And he said, "Oh, I'm from LA." Right? And we start
Yeah.
talking. And he was there because, like, many, many years ago, he bought a piece of land in the ocean too. And he
Wow.
was there to sell it. So I said,
Oh my
"Well,
God.
I'm working with this guy who does real
Yeah.
estate, and I got a listing." Then I got a listing. I went to see a friend in in another area of the country where it's really cold. And he
Yeah.
said, "Oh, my brother, he passed and he gave me this piece of land. I don't know what to do with this." And I said, "Well,
Yeah.
I can list it for you." So I got another listing. In 1 week being there, I have three
Yeah.
listings. And,
Oh.
and, and the other and the other thing, is like the first guy who my partner now that does real estate, he called me. He said,
Yeah.
"Hey, listen, we got something going on Monday. There is a free dinner for you. Would you like to join us?" And I said, "Yes." I go, and it was a group of business people, entrepreneurs from the capital city that get together in a hotel, and everybody there is no um religious. It isn't a religious group, but everyone sends, eh, eh,
Yeah.
everyone there actually appreciate, how God has been working in their lives. And that
Yeah.
was the group that I was looking for since I left El Salvador.
Oh my
So
gosh.
believe me,
Isn't that
believe me.
Carlos? That is just amazing. And, can you imagine? And Carlos, where you started out, and before our recording, you were saying like it was in El Salvador, it was when you were growing up, whatever, it was unsafe to, like walk the streets at night or whatever. And now you said that, you can actually walk the streets or sleep on the side of the street if you want to at night, and it's all safe. And the things that you shared there, see, this world has everything we want in it and everything we don't want. And we have to experience that what we don't want. And so you did, like when you were growing up with El Salvador and everything. And then you have realized that you're the creator of your own experience and you can ask and receive anything you want. And really, it's miraculous, isn't it? You go with the intention, asking about what you want. I want to do business. I want to meet similar people. I want to have deeper relationships. And what happens is an incredible thing that it would take a half a year for most real estate agents, whatever, to get 3 real estate listings. And you do it in 1 week and meet these similar minded people. It's all just incredible. You're incredible, Carlos.
Yes, and thank you for your guidance because I know I wasn't part of the group. You invited me like 2017 to be part of this group, right? I joined at the
Yeah,
beginning, and then you get distracted, you get off track. But the
yeah,
minute you re-invite me again,
yeah,
I very hardly miss any of your calls. But that thing,
yeah,
being plugged to your system,
yeah,
hearing every Monday, what you can do yourself. You are
yeah,
the rainmaker in your life.
yeah,
Got me, into the
yeah,
point that I cancel most of my appointments that are at 1 o'clock on Monday just to be here.
yeah, yeah. Just tremendous, Carlos. Tremendous. And yeah, I love that idea about we're the rainmaker. And yes, we are. We do the asking, the Father does the work. So if Carlos would have used his committee, remember that's the fear, worry, doubt, complaining little guy, he'd try to figure out I'm going to ask AI, what city I should go to get the most real estate in El Salvador and whatever. And he'd be working upstream. And so, and you'll eventually get something, if you work hard enough, do, you'll get stuff other than do that, you will get a few good things. But why not go the easy route? Why not walk with God? Why not ask for what we want and then allow it? And you allowed it, Carlos, so beautifully that we're just so happy for you. It makes our hearts sing. Beautiful. So
Thank
other
you, guys.
thoughts?
Thank you for the opportunity, Doctor.
What's that, Carlos? I think he froze. You froze. You froze on us, Carlos. Oh, oh.
I'm back. No?
There, I think, yeah, okay, we can hear you.
Okay. No, I just want
Yeah,
to say thank you for the opportunity to be, for being part of my life, and thank you for the group too, because I hear the testimonies too, and that motivates me to keep doing what I'm doing with you guys.
that's beautiful, Carlos. And yes, and so you're welcome. And at the same time that we say, so we receive that and your love, and at the same time we send it right back to you too, that we love you and you uplifted us, and so we thank you for doing that. And so just beautiful, great comments. Anybody have comments on that or other thoughts?
Yeah, I just excuse me, want to say thank you so much for sharing that, Carlos. It was beautiful and heartfelt. And then there was something that you said after, Dr. Hank, that made a light bulb go off for me. Is
Hmm.
we could do it the hard way, and continue to go upstream, or we could do it the easy way and just ask. And I feel like so often I go the hard way, and so that was a good reminder for me to be like
Yeah,
Carlos
yeah.
and
Well,
ask for what I want and allow it to happen. So, yes, thank you very
yeah,
much.
yeah, that's beautiful. And the reason why we go upstream is we've been taught that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
We've been taught you got to go work hard.
yeah. The program is,
That you have to go, and I'm just letting on somebody here that and that you need to do stuff. And the other thing we were taught is you need to go out and manipulate the world, manipulate people, you know, and like if somebody tries to manipulate you, sell you, whatever, that it doesn't feel good. You don't want to be engaged in that. And people that are authentic and believe in whatever they're offering, or we all offer, value our talents, and to be able to do that. And so how wonderful it is for us to be able to awaken and see, this is where we're all awakening now. We're all becoming more enlightened, that the stuff we were told before, they meant well, they didn't mean to take us off track. It's just that they were brought up that way. Okay. And that, so everybody is, hey, you got to work hard, you got to really, manipulate the world, and that we don't need to do that. And that's why, biblically, that the Father does the work, that so we've known for thousands of years. It's just that they were brought up on, hey, okay, this is church, whatever, on Sunday, but now
Hi, Jose
Monday
Maria.
through,
Okay, okay.
Saturday, we're going to work hard and we're going to do all this manipulating, and then we're going to go on Sunday and ask for forgiveness or whatever. And it's like, why don't we just go and have fun and enjoy our life? And the key there, Shell, is you really have to have faith and trust in God, in the higher power, the universe, whatever you feel most comfortable, with saying, because that's the key to get in. That when I let go, then God can open the doors there. Then we can walk down the corridor of joy. And Carlos, you're making noise here. There we go. And then we can, once we just allow it and just say, hey, I'm going to jump off this cliff. It really isn't a cliff, but the committee tells you it's a cliff, and shit, I'm going to jump off and I may die and never have money again. None of that stuff's going to happen. Okay. And there really isn't a cliff, but let's just play along with the committee. Okay, there's a cliff, jump off. And I guarantee you, God will give you wings to soar. And this is what it's about. It's about to soar. In fact, soar above, and I would write this down as a divine thought, that soar above all appearances. Oh my. When we rise above what's going on, what's troubling us, what we're mad at, what, we're fearful of, when we go above, and later on we're going to go in meditation and actually go above. They asked me the divine came in and said, hey, we're going to take everybody, we're going to all have fun, we're going to go above the world and just look at this beautiful world. And when you look from that perspective and you realize that this contrast, these things that we like fear and everything, it's all to help us realize that we're going to now soar above these appearances and start calling it the way Carlos did. Carlos had every reason to believe that El Salvador was a bad country, bad people, more crime, had every reason. He was brought up with that, have every reason to believe that. And he went beyond the appearances and said, here's what I want in El Salvador. I want property, I want land, I want to move there, I want business, I want all that. In a week, he did everything. And how can he be so magical and do that? Was it just him? Oh, no. He asked. And then we have these loving energies that we call archangels, our angel. Remember, I talked about the sleep angel. And now that one person it said, initially he said, hey, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in angels. Finally, he wanted to go to sleep. So he said, okay, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. And I said, call in your sleep angels, and it'll work that. And so once it played out and he went to sleep and was able to sleep, he said, well, now I want to build my business. How would I do that? And I said, well, you get your business angels. So he goes, your business angels. Can you have a business angel? Well, we have any kind of angel. There's every energy out there. But what are you calling forth? Are you calling forth fear? Are you calling forth, oh, I don't have the answer, oh, I don't have the solution? Or do you call forth and rise above these appearances and ask for, hey, I want the answer. I want the solution. I want to live the life. I want to have business or whatever I want. By the way, the end of that story is that a person did call in the business angels. Again, this is a guy that wasn't going to ever use angels and didn't believe in any of this stuff. He called in his business angels, and guess what? Within a week, his business increased, and he said, man, they're now working for me too. We got this whole organization ready to work for you. But you got to ask them. You got the freedom in order to ask them. Beautiful. Yeah. Woo! Soar above, baby. Soar above those appearances. Yeah. Other thoughts? James, unmute James.
Yeah, hey. Dr. Hank, and to the group. So this is I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna try and swing this to make it on topic. But when I think everyone gets the same question when they join the group or click the attend online button. And it says, what do you hope to gain from this group? And last week or a couple of weeks ago, I put enlightened to gain enlightenment or more enlightenment. But today I put to always to know and get closer to the Father. And then if I had to draw that out even more, I would say even and also closer to the Spirit, and not Spirit, but the spirits who guide over and watch over and guard over me and guard over all all of those on the planet and those off planet. I mean, did you know there are literally angels and gods and goddesses and spirits like pixies and fairies that make sure people climbing and those who work on ladders and roofs don't fall off, and roof painters and roof workers and those guys that wash windows at high levels.
Well,
That's a
you
dangerous
bet.
job. They're spirits that protect those people, and I've
You
prayed.
bet.
I've
Yeah.
prayed for those spirits. And one time I
Yeah.
prayed for the spirits that guard over those who are walking up high ladders. And I
Mhm.
heard one of those spirits, they all said back to me, they all said, that's the long, we don't even think anyone's thought about us in the longest of times.
Yeah. Right on. They
So,
haven't.
James, you're the reason I'm alive after all these times I had so many close calls. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly.
And,
Exactly.
I think about all the times that I have simply been brought to weeping utter tears because I have this deep and close, intimate relationship with God.
Yes.
Like I say, I mean, what's the acronym or the anagram for God? Good old dad. Good,
Look, I've heard that.
good. That's a yours truly. Good
Yeah.
omnipotent dad.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Mhm.
officiant dad.
Mm-hmm.
Wise dog. Wise dog. God spelled backwards. Because God ain't nothing but man's best friend, and he ain't nothing but the law around these parts. I knew that would bless everybody. I know I took
I love
longer
it.
than I should have,
Thank,
but
thank you, James. I love it. And absolutely. And that is, what a great question to ask that, what do I want to get from like this group, the Master Heart Family? What do I want to get? And whatever you say, you will get, because we literally have like blinders on, and that whatever we're focused on, that we're going to get out of it. And so if you ask before, and so I call this like episode pre-paving, to pre-pave the episode of like, okay, today I'm going to, in 15 minutes, I'm going to go up in the Master Heart Family. In an hour, I'm going to talk to somebody. And right before you do, you episode intend. You take that episode, and I don't think I've used those words before, that and so it's pre-paving, but specifically in the day to be intentional on how you want it, not how it's been, not how these conversations were with that person or what you got out of this group or whatever. It's what you want out of it. And what divine things to want is to want to be closer to the Father and to be closer to our guides, and to be able to be enlightened. And if you ask for that, you will for sure in this group get that. And it's just the one step. We just need the next step forward. Don't let the committee say, hey, well, I want to be flying with my angels, right now. And if you aren't, it's, hey, I feel better now. I'm on my way. Things are better. The committee wants to jump on it and say, well, you're not this or what, that, and it's going to judge it and everything. Just forget that. And the easiest way to do that is just to think, are you better? This morning I was with someone who is in really severe pain and has been for a long time. And we were talking, and she said, I just can't really think straight. I don't feel good, because when we have something that, especially like pain, it's very difficult to do it. And I told her this is all a blessing, that this is going to take you to a higher place. This is going to take you next to the chair of the Father, if you will, to sit next to the Father. And so for all of us that are on here right now, you've all had a lot of contrast, a lot of things you didn't like, a lot of challenges that you had in your life. And because of that, that's why you're here, is because the more the challenge, that typically the higher the growth, the more the wanted, the brighter future for you and me and all of us. And so pat yourself on the back. It's like, wow, yeah, you're on the road. We're all on the road here together to enlightenment. And there is no end to this. I have been there, and and we have been there, where we're walking down the corridor of joy, and those doors that swing open of more of our desires coming true, a better health, of amazing new places to live and people to meet, and all of these stronger, more deeper, loving relationships. That all of that, there's no end to it. But you got to get on the path, and we're on the path, and together, and you'll see it just gets better and better and better. Yeah. So other thoughts, comments? Thank you, James. Love it.
I was going to say that since I have been more blessed by knowing like what not to do, and
Yeah.
I'm more confident in what I'm doing daily. I'm more confident
Yeah.
in myself instead of being afraid of everything. I'm able to step up
Yeah.
and I've always been a type of person that's not afraid to walk up to somebody and just start talking to anybody. But then I always
Yeah.
have my committee that says, well, what if they kill you? What if they do this? What if they do
Right.
that?
Right.
I'm like, well,
Right.
God's
Yeah.
with me. Good luck with that. I'm going to do it
Yeah.
anyway now. So I feel
Right.
confident with the fact
Yeah.
that approaching people, like I'll see people around me and they're just like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to do anything because they've been told to, that's disrespectful. Don't do that. I'm like, but
Right.
you asked a question, you need an answer. Go get the
Yeah.
answer. Go do it.
Yeah.
And not to be disrespectful or anything like that. I do it in a
Mhm.
diplomatic way, I feel, but I'm more
Yeah.
confident than waiting for someone to tell me it's okay to do it and do it myself.
Yeah.
So I feel more
That's
like a more
beautiful.
confident person up and
That's
instead of
awesome.
waiting for someone to tell me it's okay. I don't need that
Yeah.
anymore because I've got confidence in God and myself
Yeah.
and the fact that I will be protected. I'll not worry about the
Yeah.
mistakes. It's kind of like ask for forgiveness later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And
Uh,
remember, the mistakes are the blessing.
Yeah,
And yes, James, were you going to say something?
yeah, I was gonna say, no, that's a good point though, that the young lady made. I think we should shrug off, kind of like the Egyptians did. Why are there no records of, obviously scholars debate the idea of Israelites being in Egypt, but one of the reasons perhaps why that was, I'm not saying my opinion on it either way, but is because the Egyptians never recorded their defeats. So yeah, at least
Yeah.
that's what I learned.
Yeah.
That's what I learned in seminary anyway. So
Well,
like,
I think we can't be afraid
Yeah.
to fail. We have to
yeah,
try.
yeah, we've got
Yeah.
to try.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Got to try.
And so a couple comments on liberty that instead, I think you used the word diplomatic. Use the word kind.
Yeah.
And
I'll do
see
that.
when I'm,
I worked for a
I
law
just,
firm too long not to use diplomacy, so I apologize. I think I'll use kindness.
nothing to apologize. It took us to the next level on,
Right.
hey, diplomatic kind of sounds stuffy. I just want to be kind, you know? And there's nothing, see, and when the committee comes in and says, oh, I got to be protected or whatever, that don't buy into any of that. We don't need protection. Whatever you're thinking about, you're going to attract, whether you want it or not. So you just think about the things you want. So Carlos probably is a great example. He could have, and I guarantee you this, that if he thought that, wow, I hope I don't get robbed and I don't get beat up in El Salvador when I go there, that he was definitely asking. He would have, probably had some of those type of situations because that's what he was thinking for. That's what he was asking about. Instead, he asked for exactly what he wanted, and he saw exactly what he wanted. And so literally we're the creator of our own experience. So when you get away from the need to protect, you see, if I say I need protection, there's got to be something on the other side that I need protecting from. So
Yeah.
I'm creating that. God has to have something that, and in my life that, I don't like my doors, I don't like it. There's no reason to. This is a beautiful world with beautiful people. That's my life. That's my experience. And why? Because that's what I asked for. And I love your confidence, Liberty. Oh,
Thank
isn't
you.
that beautiful? And
Thank you.
and too, and just the way you talk, that you talk more confident, more secure, kinder. That, and for all of us, that confidence is definitely something that we want. Why? Because again, when we were brought up, be quiet. Children are supposed to be seen, not heard, and shut up, and you don't know, and whatever. And so, I mean, we have been beaten down. And again, this is where we rise above the appearances and we realize that, wow, and all we need to do is ask for, please show me the way to be more confident. And God will, in miraculous ways, to be more confident.
I believe it. Being the middle kid in the family, I definitely always after, like, no doesn't work out well for me. So I'm going to figure out a way to make it a yes. And I've been taught to, or maybe myself, when you were talking about manipulating to get what you want and things like that, I think kindness works so much better in a sense of there's always someone out there that needs something, and you don't have to manipulate them to give them what they want. You just be a giver and be like love prevails always, and showing them the loving way is the best way to me, but maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, don't go on these appearances of how the person looks, and they look real tough and they're dressed this way or whatever. That it's nothing about that. All of us want what you are talking about. All of us want to be loved. All of us want to love. All of us want to have somebody that cares about us, that's kind to us. So it doesn't matter who we are, that everybody wants that. And when you recognize that, get the committee out of the way and go be nice to people. It's like, oh my God, I love this. and call for it, but that's where you prepave in the joy shop in the morning. You call for it. Hey, I'm going to attract amazing and wonderful people into my life. And these people, so you said giver, and your vibration, just to help you a little, and all of us need this help because we said, oh, it's better to give than receive. And we're all about this giving, okay? And what happens is you get burnt out and you lose your energy. Then now you're giving, people don't really care, want it, whatever, and it's not playing out. And that's where that understand you want to attract people that help me, help you to your desires. And if they help you to your desires, that means you're helping them to their desires. And it's an amazing way, the way that God has that. So it's about, I'm just going to be kind, and I'm going to call forth what I want to attract. I want to attract similar-minded people who want and pay for what I offer. Woo! Stand tall. That's what I want. And when you do, you will get amazing people that love you, and ask for more compliments today. God, this morning in my joy shop, I said, yeah, and I want it. I was just buzzing, flying with the angels and all that is God, and, just amazing. And I want more compliments today. And I have gotten a bunch of compliments already this morning, and less than half of the day, then all these compliments. And like most people, they're not going to tell you in church or whatever, okay, now make sure you ask for a lot of compliments today. Okay. But the fact is, if I get compliments, that means that I'm blessing them. They're telling me on how I have blessed them. And so it's a whole different way of looking at life when we realize that this is a life that we can create anything we want, and we have to have the contrast, the things we don't like, in order to birth what we do want and for all of us to have a brighter, better future. Amen. Yeah, Zoom user, Stephen.
Hey, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great day. As I continue to try to connect my dots in my life, I have to reflect so much all the time because it helps me remember where I'm at and where I'm going. And the Joy Shop was a good one because I hadn't done that for a little bit. Dr. Hank, and hey, by the way, you look fabulous today, Dr. Hank.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Getting younger every day.
Every day. The Joy Shop did really help me, go back to basics and prepaid my day and mindset myself so that I don't get ahead of myself. I slow myself down enough to let God do his work so I don't push my blessings out of the way like I like to all the time, because I got to be in control. And it's very, being ADD, like to the up thing, is great because I get a lot done, but it's hard to slow down sometimes. And I need to do more of that. And I really have been working hard on it. And the Joy Shop was a really good way to kind of really rewind a little bit and slow it down and put things in perspective and go, okay, I'm all over the place. Let's go. This is what I want. Let's focus on this for this week or today. And it's a good way. Yeah, slow it down a little bit. So that was a good point today. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. Yeah. See, we're all creators, but are we deliberate? And that's why the Joy Shop is there. Episode pre-paving that. It's when I become deliberate creator that then the fun begins. Because now I start asking for what I want and not being dragged along by the committee talking about what I don't want.
Right.
And so it's just the devil, if you will. The committee is just, what we don't want. And that's what the devil is. Simple and easy. And someone said to me earlier today too, they said, I don't think God loves me. God's mad at me. And that's impossible. Okay. God has always loved you, will always love you. But you got to be asking, if you say that, what's happening? You're pushing God away. Be like James. He was inviting, hey, I want to, walk with the Father. And so it all depends on if you say that, that's what you're going to do. And in fact, and Stephen, to be helpful is don't call yourself names. These, doctors make up these names and everything. And you just say, hey, I love that I can focus. And now I want to be deliberate on how I want to focus, because there's all these names and it's all made up. Well, why don't we make up stuff then? And why don't we make it up the way we want it? Right on. Tim.
I went, I don't know, I missed here last week. I took my wife to the mountains and checked out for a week, and all electronics were off.
Great.
On Friday morning though, she had to take a call, and she was needs me out of her hair for about 2 hours. So I get on my phone, open Facebook and look for some idle chit chat, something what's going on. And there was 2 girls, and they had 3 kids up there with them, and their truck was stuck in the snow, and all of their food and all of their clothes were stuck in the truck. And they walked to the Airbnb that they were in. And they're like, hey, can anyone help us? That's what was their post on Facebook. And everyone on there was saying, you should have brought chains, how irresponsible and she had posted her phone number, and rather than getting in all that chat, I just text her, what's your address? And I've got a Jeep 4-wheel drive, I've got recovery gear, the whole thing, shovels, and just went over there. And it took me about 2 hours to get her out, or get them out, and get them to their house. And then she says, oh, how can we pay you? And I said, this next time you see someone that needs help, just give them a hand. And like, you don't want any money, you don't want anything? No, that's it. I said the only thing I wanted was a picture. We did a little group picture.
Oh my gosh!
And it took me about 2 hours. Came back and I was ready to go. And wife's call was over. And it's perfect.
It's perfect timing. Yeah. And so the power of this, and kind of understanding mass consciousness. That's the committees of everybody together. Here, this poor lady says about hey, I got stuck in the snow. And she's getting bashed by people of, oh, you should have done this, that. That just makes this fire bigger, right? Whereas what you did is you asked for an answer and solution. And the answer and solution, hey, what's her address? I'm all equipped to get her out. And so you had the answer and solution. And again, it's not, we're not going to spend any time thinking about those Facebook people that were, bashing her on, whatever, that, hey, we understand they got their committees and they don't really mean to be saying this way. And, I mean, my first instinct was, oh, I want to comfort those people. That
Right.
I would say, oh, I love you, and God will take care of you. Don't worry that there will be angels coming to save you. And guess who the angel was? Tim.
Thank you. You're a blessing, Tim. That's great because it's all about timing, and there's no mistake why you opened up Facebook, why your wife told you to go do something else. There's no mistake
Yeah.
there. That's how I feel
Yeah.
about it.
It was cool, thank you. And they did bring chains. They just brought the wrong size. They were too small. Right?
But don't
then
you go
some
back
other-
to those Facebook haters. Don't give
No.
into that.
But the other cool thing is some other lady saw it and brought over a gigantic breakfast for everybody. Just a big plate of, I don't know, scrambled eggs and potatoes, and it was just perfect.
So this is now where we realize that when we have contrasts like she did, and she started asking for answers and so, hey, I have this. The angel Tim comes and gets her out of that, but then it gets better. She would have never had this big, huge breakfast, except that because she was asking that's why our cup overflow. Okay, biblical statement. Your cup will overflow. It's going to overflow with whatever you're thinking about. If you don't want it, the bad stuff, it's going to overflow. And people say like, "Oh, okay, and my day can't get worse than this," and then it does. Okay, and that's where we don't want to go. But what we want to look at is, wow, when I focus on what I want, doesn't matter about the situation, the appearance. That when I start looking for that it gets even better than what I expected. And this is living proof. That example, Tim, is living proof. And why don't we all right now go and come with the divine and let's rise above these appearances in this world and see the truth of the blessing of each one of us in this world. And so I invite you I would suggest you close your eyes. It's easier to go within the kingdom within you as we begin to be quiet. We quiet our minds. Slow down your mind and become still. And breathe in all the way down to your toes. And breathe out. And just let anything that's troubling you, any fears, worries, doubts, just blow it out. And breathe in. And as you breathe out, just begin to relax now the crown of your head where the knowledge. Relax your third eye in between your two eyes. This is where you see the truth. We ask for our third eye now to rise above this world, these circumstances, and see the beauty in everyone and everything as we just relax and continue to breathe deeply, breathing in and breathing out. And just relax your eyes now, relax your jaw, relax your neck, your shoulders. Just roll the world. You don't have to hold the world on your shoulders anymore. Let it roll right off, feeling so light as a feather now. So we just enjoy going down to the kingdom within us. going deeper and deeper and deeper. Oh. And relax your chest. Relax that beautiful heart of yours. Just open up your heart. Oh, such a loving heart. And when you open it up, others recognize it, relate to it, and they become love to you and giving you love as you give them love. Breathing in. And just feeling so relaxed, relaxing your stomach, your hips, and your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, your feet, feeling so relaxed. Oh, so at ease, so beautiful as we begin to go down even deeper and deeper into our soul, where the Father is, feeling the presence of God within us, the kingdom within us. We feel so light now. We feel so good, so relieved. We feel ease and relief. We're in awe as we begin now to feel so light as a feather that we just rise up now. Our spirit rises up out of our chair. And it goes up beyond our roof now. And we begin to fly, just gliding in the beautiful air, going higher and higher, going through the heavenly clouds. Just so beautiful, feeling so good. We start seeing each other fly in this beautiful space, this heavenly space. We smile, we connect together. As we fly, we hold each other's hand in one beautiful circle as we're rising higher and higher now. We're able to look down at the world and oh, such a beautiful world. The most beautiful planet in all the universe. It's such a beautiful world that God has made. The beautiful blue seas we see. Beautiful earth. And we know that this is the perfect place where the contrast happens, the things that we don't like, don't want, the lack, the limitation, all of it is there to bless us. And we see that now from this perspective. We have risen above the appearances, and we now see, as the divine sees, this beautiful world, the beautiful us, the beautiful people in our world, our beautiful career, relationships. And they're all there, everything, every experience that we have had from the past, present, and into the future is all for us. And there will always be these things we don't like, and we now bless them. We bless our fears. We bless the committee. We bless the lack and the limitation because we know it's a catapult. It's the spring to take us to the life that we want, to a brighter future for ourselves, our children, for all those that walk after us. that we leave this world a better place because we're in this world now and going to where God goes on everything that happens. We see the good in it. We see the wanted in it. We see the blessing in every one, from our past, present, and future, to every experience in our past, present, and future has taken us to this enlightened point, to this divine way to see Mother Earth as God does. This beautiful place that creates the growth, expands energy and thought beyond where it's ever been before, putting the eternity into each one of us, into all of mankind and all that is. So beautiful. And the important role that each one of us play in this growth, in this freedom, and for us now to experience on earth more joy, more delicious and beautiful, divine joy. We now find ourselves smiling more, laughing more. Our heart sings more. Our soul dances more, for we have decided to walk with God. We have decided to ask for what we do want, that is birthed from this contrast, so that we can walk with the divine, so we can have the abundant life. And that is what we now embrace and walk, the abundant life. With the smiles and the laughter, and the skipping along this beautiful path now. We're walking down this beautiful corridor of joy. The doors of our dreams being experienced and realized now, with more laughter and more fun, more playfulness, deeper, more loving relationships. Oh, it's so sweet as we connect so meaningfully with ourselves and with others, with God and all that is. We understand the role of our angels that go out and gather up our goodies. We love that the Father does the work for us. This is all for us, for our eternity, for our happiness, for our abundant life. And the abundant life for all those that we touch now, for all those that we are with now, for all those that we think of, that we uplift them and we take them on this corridor with us, with the doors of all the things we desire, and more easy money and more business, and more love and more joy and more freedom and more peace. We call in now the beautiful white dove of peace. And as we look at the beautiful earth, that peace flows to our minds now. We have more peaceful thoughts. Peace flows into our spirit now, and we have more peaceful feelings and emotions and a peaceful breath now. We just flow with life. The beautiful, graceful life is ours now. And we ask for peace now to come into every cell of our body, come into every organ, every muscle, every nerve, every fiber, every function, beautiful function of our body. We ask that peace comes in every sense, and we see in peace now. We see peace in our world now. We smell peace, taste peace, hear peace, touch peace, and we're connected with the divine, with peace now, with our sixth sense. Oh, Lordy. And we we are now filled with this peace. And as we look down at Mother Earth, we now focus our loving light energy and angel dust of peace onto the earth. And peace flows into the earth now. And we now experience peaceful life, an abundant life, a happy life. That just feels so good. So let's just enjoy this moment now in peace, flying above all appearances. So we rise up and we look upon Mother Earth with the blessing that she is, the blessing that we are. Breathing in. And just float now, all of us together, hand in hand, a big, beautiful circle, looking down upon Mother Earth. Breathe in. And as you breathe in, know that be still and know that I am God. Feel your oneness with the divine. Feel the peace. Feel the abundance. And now feel the love. Now we begin to float back down to beautiful Mother Earth, that blue water, beautiful soil, the amazing Mother Earth that has everything we want in it. We just love that and love this and love our new awakened life. So we continue to float down, going closer and closer. You see your home now. And now we release from each other, knowing that our hearts are always connected. And we flow back gently and easily into our chairs. I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and at 1, we're going to awaken, open up our eyes and feel this freedom, this peace, this abundance, this love. And 3, and it's for 3 in our mind, body, and spirit is at one with God and the divine and all that is now. And 2, and it's us, magnificent us and God walking together. We feel so good just skipping along our lighted path now. And on the count of one, we shall open up our eyes. It feels so good, so refreshed, so in love with ourselves, this world, and each other. And one, open up your eyes and welcome this new, amazing, beautiful world and life. And so it is. Amen. Woo! I feel good, do, like I knew that I would. Yeah, so good, so good. Woo-hoo. Oh, anybody want to share any experience you had there? Flying high?
That I was on mute, Dr. Hank, and I was singing along with you, and then I was gonna be all like, I thought I was unmuted, and I was gonna be like, oh, that's your solo, Dr. Hank. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's all us singing. I could hear everybody's hearts a singing, and that's
Yeah, I need to lay
beautiful.
down for that next time. I need to definitely, because I almost fell out of my chair.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, what I would do is take the recording and, we're on YouTube or I'll text it to you, whatever, and take that recording. And if anything everything we talked about was just divine today, and that meditation note, and just be able to do that meditation, it'll raise your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, it raises your point of attraction to everything you want. You don't have to figure it out anymore. Your work, the battle's over. The work is over. And let the fun begin. Right on? Woo. Now, everybody unmute your mics. And are you ready?
Let's
We
sing
like
it.
to we like to laugh and have more fun.
We like
We like to laugh and have more fun.
For we are the deliberate ones.
For
we
we
are
are
the deliberate
Deliberate ones. Contrast makes life a fun game.
Contrast
makes
life
life
a
a
fun
fun
game.
game.
Answers are our middle name.
Answers are our middle name.
I make everything feel all right.
I
make
make everything
feel
feel all right.
all right. As we shine in the divine light.
As
we
Shine in the
shine in the
divine light.
divine light. Sound off living the magical life.
Sound off
The
living the
magical
magical
life.
life.
Sound off living the magical life.
Sound off living the magical life.
Magical life. Yeah, wiggle. Woo. Yes, yes, yes. Woo-hoo.
Dr. Hank, Dr. Hank, I add a lyric
Yeah.
to that song, please?
What's that, James?
Can I add a lyric?
Can you have the lyric? Yeah. I'll send
Add
you
a
the
lyric?
lyrics. I'll send it.
Okay, hold
Yeah,
on. No,
I'll
I
send
want to
it.
add a lyric.
Oh, you want to
He
add
wants to
one? Go
ad-lib
ahead.
there.
Yeah. Okay. At first, I thought Dr. Hank's sing-along game was rather lame. Now I think it will bring us much fame.
You know, we thought Joey wasn't here today, but he showed up and through somebody else.
Oh. That is beautiful, James. Thank you for adding. That's the perfect icing on the cake for today. And I love you all, and know that everything you want is coming your way. It's starting right now. You're gonna have
Bye, guys.